You already know the laugh, not the kind someone aims at you, the kind you aim at yourself, fast, reflexive before your brain catches up to what your mouth just agreed to. The laugh that says, yeah, you're right when something quieter inside you is saying something completely different. You've done it in parking lots, at lunch tables, at the kind of casual Friday night where someone says something about your car, and the easiest thing, the only thing that doesn't require a whole conversation, is to laugh first and loudest and move on. You've been moving on for 3 years. This is what stops. Age 24, Saturday afternoon, 4 of you outside a restaurant. Ryan pulls up in a lease he's had for 3 months, and still mentions how it smells. Marcus parks next to him. You park on the other side. 7 years old, 140 on the odometer, a scratch above the rear wheel you stopped seeing sometime last year. Ryan looks at your car the way people look at something they've already decided about. Not mean, just certain. Bro, this year. We need to get you into something. Marcus nods. Seriously, you work hard. You laugh. The easy laugh. The one that costs nothing in the moment and something later, in the quiet of your own driveway, when you sit with the engine off and try to figure out why agreeing felt worse than being wrong. Inside, over food, they talk about monthly payments and the feeling of driving something new off a lot. You listen the way you listen to a conversation in a language you used to speak but chose to stop. You understand every word. You just don't live there anymore. Age 25, different parking lot, work drinks. A new hire named Claire walks out with you and stops at your car. Is this yours? Yeah. Waiting for it. She nods. My dad drove the same model. Said it was the best car he ever owned. Ran it to 220. She drives away. You stand there longer than you need to. Nobody has said anything like that before. Every comment has been a variation of the same performance. The laugh, the suggestion, the gentle pressure to become someone who cares about different things. Claire said it the way you say any fact about the world. No performance, no pity, no pressure. Like keeping it was simply a decision a reasonable person might make. You drive home. You don't laugh at the car that night. You don't laugh about it again after that. Not because you decided not to, because something about the decision stopped feeling like it needed defending, and things that don't need defending don't need laughing off either. Age 26. The dealership happens on a Tuesday. Not because Ryan said something, because you drove past one on the way home, and your hands turned in before your brain confirmed the decision. The salesman walks you to something in your price range. You sit in it. Leather seat. No crack above the glove box. A dashboard without a single mark from the last 6 years of your actual life. You think about Ryan's face the first time you pull up in something new. Then you think about Claire, her father, 220 on the same model. You get out. You drive home in the one you already have. Somewhere on the highway, doing nothing in particular, you understand what you almost bought. Not a car, Ryan's version of you. And that version has never once fit right. Age 27. Ryan gets a new car, third one in 6 years. Same lot, same process. Lease ended, drove off in something newer. Slightly different shape. A colour that photographs better. He texts you a photo before he's even left the dealership. The caption says, "Finally." You put the phone down without replying. At lunch that week he shows it to everyone at the table. Someone asks about the monthly. Ryan says it like it's nothing, $640, but it includes insurance. And the table nods the way tables nod when a number sounds reasonable because nobody does the math out loud. $640 a month, 12 months. You do it in your head. You eat your food. Age 28, a Friday night. 6 people, a bar, music loud enough that conversations happen in short sentences. Someone brings up cars. It always happens. Ryan says something about yours. Not cruel. Ryan is never cruel, which is almost the problem. He's warm about it, like getting you into something new would be doing you a favour. You deserve better than that car, he says. The table agrees. You look at your drink, deserve. You've thought about that word a lot since that night. What it assumes. That the car is what you settled for, not what you chose. That deserve is a word that applies to sheet metal and financing terms, and the specific need to be seen arriving somewhere in something that announces you before you open the door. You don't say any of this. You say you'll think about it. You've been thinking about it for 4 years. The conclusion is the same every time. Age 29. Marcus buys a house. 3% down. Mortgage is tight. He says so himself, like being stretched thin is proof he's serious. He drives a leased car to a house he barely owns and calls it building equity. You open your account that night. The number has been moving in the right direction for 4 years. Quietly. without announcing itself at lunch or texting photos from dealership parking lots. You think about Ryan's $640 a month. You think about Marcus's 3% down. You think about the number on your screen, growing in the background of a life that nobody at that bar would have looked at and called winning. You close the app, you go to sleep. Outside, the car is still in the driveway, still doing what it was built to do, still not costing you $640 a month. Age 31. Ryan's lease ends again. Same lot, same process, new smell, new monthly that resets the clock on everything. You find out through a photo. Different caption this time. Upgrade. You put the phone down. At some point, a word stops meaning progress and starts meaning motion, movement in any direction, as long as it's new. You don't reply to that one either. Age 32. A dinner, someone's birthday, restaurant nicer than usual. Ryan arrives last. Parks where people can see it from the window. You notice because you've started noticing things you used to do without knowing you were doing them. Toward the end of the night, someone asks about investing. Where to start? Ryan talks for 4 minutes. Confident, specific, an app, a strategy, a percentage. You listen. You know Ryan's monthly obligations better than he thinks you do. The car, the apartment, the card he puts dinners on. The math has been running in the background for years. Ryan doesn't have money in the market. He has opinions about money in the market. There's a difference. You don't say that. Age 34, Saturday morning, you open your account. 10 years. Not fast, not dramatically. Just steadily, the way things grow when you stop interrupting them. The number is $147,000. You think about Ryan, not with satisfaction. Ryan is fine the way people are fine when they've spent 10 years making sure they look fine, and haven't checked lately whether those are still the same thing. You think about what he said at that bar 8 years ago. You deserve better than that car. You still drive the same one. 11 years old, 187 on the odometer, the crack above the glove box, the scratch from 2019. In 11 years, that car has never once let you down. Ryan has replaced his 3 times looking for a feeling the next one was never going to deliver. Somewhere right now, someone is laughing at their friend's old car, warmly, like they're doing them a favour. And the friend is laughing too. The same laugh you used to do. Fast, reflexive, easier than explaining yourself to someone who didn't ask. If you've watched the video on what happens when you refuse to finance a German luxury car, you already know where Ryan ends up. Different name, same math, same lot, same process, same caption on the next photo. The car outside isn't the thing you kept. It's the proof that you knew the difference between what you wanted and what you were being sold. Tell me something. The last time someone laughed at a decision you made, did you laugh along? Not what you said after, what you did in that first second before you had time to think. The last time someone laughed at a decision you made, did you laugh along? Not what you said after, what you did in that first second before you had time to think. If you did, drop it in the comments. Just that one moment. You don't have to explain it. And if this video made you think about a decision you've been laughing off, maybe it's time to stop. Subscribe if you want more stories like this one. New video every week.